Welcome to the Diversity Connector podcast, where we explore the rich tapestry of human experiences. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache, and I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the country on which we meet today. I would also like to pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging, and together as we dive into conversations that bridge cultures, challenge stereotypes, and celebrate the unique perspectives each of us brings to the table. Each episode is a journey through stories and insights from a kaleidoscope of voices, each sharing their colorful narrative. Whether you're at home, on the go, or just anywhere in between, you're now part of a community that values understanding, inclusivity, and the beauty of diversity. So plug in your headphones, get comfortable, and let's connect through the power of our shared stories. Welcome, and thank you for joining us on the Diversity Connector podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Diversity Connector. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. As you know, the Diversity Connector is bringing you stories, knowledge, all around diversity. Diversity in the workplace, in the office. What are people experiencing in terms of diversity? So my next guest, please, welcome to our tribe. Tell everybody your full name, where you're based, how old you are, and share your story with us today.
Hello, everyone. My name is Manish Sanduja. I'm based in Melbourne from last 15 years, and I work for an organization, Clicks IT Recruitment. I'm working with them from last 4 years as a senior account manager. And I do IT recruitment, mainly focusing on the public sector, state government in Victoria. I came to Australia in 2009. It's been a while. I came as a student, and I studied my bachelor's in information system from a University of Ballarat, which is known as Fed Uni now. It's been a really good roller coaster for me. It's been a good journey for me, I would say. But as an immigrant, we all have faced a lot of challenges. And today I'm here to share my story with you guys. And I hope it inspires you. And there were few people in my life who have, assisted me or been there for me, especially my current team, my family, my wife, my daughter. I'm married. I got a daughter, 2 years old, and I love IT. From last 15 years, I've studied University of Ballarat, done my degree, and then started working some odd jobs. As an international student, at that time, a lot of people will think that we still don't have a luxury here at the moment, but back then there was no luxury as well. A lot of applications, a lot of jobs I was applying, they were telling me that I have to be a permanent resident, and which I wasn't. So a lot of jobs were rejected straight away. I used to apply 10 to 15 jobs every day. Then I had a good approach for applying a job. I did landed a job in IT as a system analyst. While I was doing the paperwork to join the organization, I was told to provide my permanent residency visa. But I did say to them when I applied for this role, there was no section where I have to advise that I'm a permanent resident. Long story short, I think they said, look, Manish, we really like you. We want you. And I had a 2 years visa by then at that time as well, which used to be called a TR visa. They pulled the offer on the basis of that I was not a permanent resident. I was gutted, shattered. My first job in IT, which was so close to me, I couldn't get it. It took me a while to get out of that, I would say, incident. which really shattered my confidence as well. When applying a job, I always made sure that the first thing I pick up a phone and talking to a recruiter, I say, "Hi, my name is Manish, and I'm not a permanent resident," rather than telling them what did I do and what I bring on the table. So I was that nervous, that much, I would say, shut down by that permanent residency visa applications for the jobs as well. Um, I did a lot of jobs, jobs in non-IT. I started working in a supermarket where things went really well. I was promoted to a manager within a couple of years. Then I moved to operations of the hotels, and I worked for one of the really big chain of timeshare. Had a really good time there. I worked with the finance team in Gold Coast as well. Then my family, my wife, she's from Melbourne, so I decided to move back to Melbourne after a couple of years in Gold Coast. Um, when I moved back, one of my really close friend, she told me, "Manish, why don't you try recruitment?" And I'm like, "I've not done recruitment." She's like, "You have." I mean, I was doing recruitment for every role I was in working for an operations, working for supermarkets, but I was not realizing it that I was doing the recruitment there. And then she said, "It's an IT recruitment." And I was like, yes, something in IT, I want to do it for sure. Because, you always have this dream of to work in IT space, but then recruitment in IT is not in IT, but still, you get a chance to speak with people, you work with the people, learn the technology, know the technology, and how you can impact people's life as well. So I took a challenge. I worked for as a candidate manager for a year for an organization, and then this job, this position at Clicks IT Recruitment came to me. And when I met my CEO Tamara Reef, which is our current CEO Tamara Reef, uh, and my manager Jackie Berry, they both interviewed, and it was such a lovely experience. They, introduced me to the whole organization. For a long time, I was not used to it. Interviews were like, "What can you bring? What can you do? And why should we hire you?" But this interview experience was a bit different. They told me what they bring on the table for me, um, what I can achieve with them, and how they're making an impact. A couple of rounds with them, they told me about the diversity they have in their team, which was a big plus point for me because I myself, I'm a big person to, want diversity in the organization. So it was a really nice experience in the interview when I joined, and I felt it as well. 80% of our leadership team in Clicks IT is a female. Our CEO, she's a female. And I report to a manager, she's a female. Her name is Fatima. And I have a team of, we have a team where we have a really diverse culture. People are, I think 70% of our staff are not born in Australia. So I think that's a plus point to work for an organization like Clicks IT Recruitment. But then why I chose IT recruitment, because my old love with IT, my degree, I want to make something. My dad had this dream that I work for an IT organization. He passed away in 2019. But then when I got the job, when I started doing good, I always remember that that's what he wanted me to do. There are a lot of challenges I still see in the field of IT, where a lot of organizations are not open for a diverse culture. Diverse culture, what I mean is, having a female candidates same as male candidates, having candidates from different part of the world, because I believe they bring different experience, um, and those experiences are really, really important for every organization. um, it's kind of like a startup will not be a startup if different people from different side of will come in and give their 100%. um, there's a lot of challenges still there out there which I see. And I think a lot of organization needs to uh, put some words or put some work in to have a diverse culture. Things have changed a lot in the last couple of years. I've seen a lot of organization are open for it. There are my clients who are happily um, talking to me. They're really open in the conversation where they say, Manish, I need a female candidate. And that just brings a joy to me when I see a client talking like that to me. I met with a lot of good CIOs in the past couple of months, and I've had the conversation with them regarding this as well, which is a good approach. Um, if you ask me, are we there yet? I think we are not. With a diverse culture, we can have in our workforce. We still need a lot of work to do, and how am I making an impact? I make sure that when I'm submitting my shortlist to my clients, I have a diverse shortlist. I think when I present the shortlist, I make sure that A, the candidate is well suited, and B, it's diverse. Diverse in terms of their race, their culture, and you know, from different part of the world as well. I met with Gertrude a month ago in one of the diversity awards, Tech Diversity Awards, and I was really happy to see what kind of impact she was bringing to the industry. And I said, Gertrude, we need to catch up. We need to talk a bit more. And I was really, really happy to see how a lot of people out there are making an impact on this topic. It's a really sensitive topic still. A lot of people don't talk about it, but I think we all need to stand together and make sure that these topics are talked about. We talk about a lot of stuff in general with a lot of people, and don't make it a big. Stop making the big deal. It should be a normalized in every workforce that we can talk about it. Um,
Oh, Manish, you have touched on so many issues that are very, very close to my heart. But let's unpack everything you've shared so far. Intersectionality is something I am very, very passionate about sharing. A lot of people look at a person of color or somebody who's different, and they don't realize the wealth of knowledge and skills that we bring, right? I told you when I moved to New Zealand 22 years ago, I was a systems analyst, I was a developer, project manager in IT, and nobody would touch my CV because of my foreign name. And when they did look at the CV and saw that I was from Africa, again, people don't realize how much technology exists on the continent. So when you look at life from an intersectional lens, when you look at a human being and you are a manager trying to recruit staff, why is it important to take that person's life experience into account?
I think if you say let's an let's an example a candidate from Africa or a candidate from India, it doesn't mean that they might have gone through a bigger challenge. The technology and the amount of systems they're working is massive, and a lot of people don't realize that. And I think in terms of users, an organization might be having here 500 users where they need an IT system analyst to work with them. I can get a person who has worked in an organization where they have 5,000 users. So this person will bringing a lot of wealth of knowledge and has worked on a bigger platform. And if they don't get a chance to work, we always talk about we want to create a workforce in IT. We always talk about there's a shortage of people in IT. Um, but isn't, I believe. If we give right people a chance, I don't think there would be a shortage of people or shortage of skills we talk about every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that you were able to transition from being a manager in different industry and then coming into this recruitment industry, you were recruiting people all along,
Yes,
just in a different industry, right? And you were lucky enough that the organization you're working for now recognized that as a strength
yes,
combined with your IT qualifications.
yes. And it wasn't easy for me as well, Gertrude. I still pick up a phone, so I'm a hands-on person still. I still like to speak with people, candidates, clients are the focus there as well. But I just want to make sure that I always tell people, your candidates today, your clients tomorrow. So make sure that you have that kind of relationship with your candidates today. Um,
Mm.
Treat them well, treat them equal, your candidates and your clients. But it wasn't easy for me as well, Gertrude. I still pick up a phone, and sometimes people say, and I say, look, I'm calling from Clicks IT Recruitment. My name is Manish, and I'm a senior account manager to a public sector teams. Like, so where are you based? I still get asked this question. It's not that often now, maybe of my different accent now, but but still, I get asked this question: where you calling from? What do you guys do? Where are you based? You know, um, and I've seen this coming along all of my career. It
Yeah.
sometimes it's a good thing, you know, that then you can elaborate your experience. Oh, I come from a country where 130 billion people lives, so
Yes.
he can give them a lot of wealth. And sometimes I think people want to know a bit more about you rather than
Yes.
just jumping in straight on what's the matter, why have you called me. So that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess our job is to educate. Like you say, there's still quite a bit of ignorance out there.
Yes.
Um, there's still quite a bit of ignorance, and it's up to every individual person who's different to educate and bring an awareness of what it is that we bring.
Yes, that's true, Ketchut. And as I said, I met with a lot of CIOs in last 6 months to 1 year. There has been a shift where they want a diverse workforce in their organization, which is a good sign. But I'm not really sure if it's there yet. It's a long way to go, but I think it has started already. The spark is there, and I think we all need to contribute a bit from our side to make this happen. And
Yeah,
I'm doing my best by sending shortlists or recruiting people in a diverse workforce.
that's awesome. That is awesome. So now that you have situated yourself in this position, things like sponsorship and allyship within the organization, how can those help an individual, again, who's different, maneuver their way within an organization and have a career progression that actually helps them achieve their goals?
I think it makes it really easier for an organization. A lot of times they think, um, as I said to you before, they think there's a shortage of skills, but it's not. Yeah, hiring a right person is important, but then giving a chance to a person who is skilled enough and working with them is important as well. A lot of organization these days are started using a third party where they can get these candidates sponsored. um, and there are a lot of visas as well, Gertrude. When you study here, you get a work visa for 2 years. Those two
Okay.
years are really important, and then it gives you a full-time work rights. There is a skilled work visa as well, which allows you to enter the country for 2 years or 4 years now, I believe, that you
Yes.
can work and have that skills you have worked and then bring back to this country as well. Um, there's also programs. I believe those programs by government, it's called a youth program, but I believe those are for a local people only. But I think those programs, when are initiated, it opens up a pool of candidates in the market as well. Um, Sponsorships are there for right. I think it's the right people, right candidate, right time. I always say this, but it has opened a lot in recent years with the organization. They know that a it's cheaper for them to sponsor someone and get them on site and get the ball rolling for their organization as well.
Yes, yes. So let's talk a little bit about the importance of diversity. Why is it important for organizations to have diversity within their teams?
I think it brings the balance, Gertrude. Um, if by having a diverse culture or having a diverse workforce, it brings the balance, it brings the experience. Um, Candidates coming from a different part of the world, they will bring their own experience in terms of what challenges have they faced, how how they have maneuvered themselves to that challenge, or what approach they have taken. So they might have 10 times more different approach to a problem than a candidate or a person who has worked on a smaller organization. Or the IT itself is a massive platform. The IT itself is a massive industry, and we get more experience by working in a larger space. Not everyone get chance to work in a large organization, but getting someone who has experience working in a large organization can bring that experience in the team. Different mindset, different approach, and they say the balance is important because a candidate A or a person A will have a different approach to the problem than a person B. Um, Women are more, I would say, a bit calmer, and then they would think a bit more about a problem than a male. I'm not trying to discriminate here, don't get me wrong, but I've seen this by having a mix of people from different parts of the world and sexual as well. It just creates a happy team. It's more to talk about, and you can share examples of what challenges you have faced and get a beautiful solution for your organization.
Yeah, and I think also your workforce has to reflect the society you live in, right? Let's say,
Absolutely.
for instance, an IT company is designing a piece of software and they don't have somebody who has a disability on the team. How are you going to know the needs of people with disabilities in relation to the software you're developing?
That is correct. I was really happy to see Department of Health working on it. In one of the um, session we met again, Gertrude, if you remember,
Yes.
they are working with neurodiverse candidates,
Mm-hmm.
and they have realized that they have more with the data. They are the best people to work with,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
and that's and I've never looked at it in that direction. But when I learned about it a bit more, it was an amazing experience. Um, and you're right. I think these days candidates as well, when they apply for the job, they look at the LinkedIn profile and see who are
Else
who is
is there.
working there. Yeah, how's the workforce look like? What's the name of the people there? Who is in the C-level stakeholders? Who are the C-level stakeholders? Where do they come from? Yeah. And as you
Yes.
said, Gertrude, with the name, it makes a lot of impact. You see the name, you see, okay, you have female candidates as a CIO, CEO. You have people from different parts of the world, managing as a manager, as a director. You feel that that organization is a good organization. They're really open, they're diverse, you have that satisfaction when you go to this work for this organization. You can see your point rather than just being a number sitting in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's when you see yourself represented.
Yes,
That's really where the difference lies.
we spend our 30% of the day working with these people.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's important for us to know who are we going to spend this 30% of our time daily.
Yeah, it's incredible. The workplace is, yeah, you spend so much time there and you want to make sure when you choose a job, you're making the right choice in terms of where you're locating yourself. So now, what kind of candidates are you looking for? Where are the biggest shortages in IT at the moment?
Um, so I think the shortage is still there in terms of security. You know, as security is the biggest risk at the moment. We have seen in past few months with multiple organizations getting hacked, and then the details out there, our personal details out there. I think security is the biggest place where a lot of there's a shortage at the moment in the market. Um, Currently, I'm working with state governments. I'm always looking for good project managers, good solution architects, good BAs, good developers as well. These are the currently roles which are we are working on. Being a really niche, Pega or Salesforce or ServiceNow. These are the roles which are really, really hot in the market. Currently, also, since COVID has hit, we understand the importance of cloud. So cloud is a really hot and niche market as well, where a lot of people are still needed.
That's awesome. So that's good to know. Where the big gaps are. You're right. Data security has really increased the need for people who have those type of skills to keep all of these websites secure. There's so much that is happening online now.
Yes, and it's a spams. I think we have been talking to a couple of organizations. They are taking their security really, really seriously. um, and it's important for us as well that I think at the end of the day, when I work with these clients, Gertrude, I come back home and I tell my family that I've been working with the clients. It made me feel proud as well that we are giving back to the community, to this
Mm,
country, I would say, who has given us an opportunity to work, live, and share our values with each other as well. And it's
mm.
important. It's End of the day, we are protecting each other, so it's important.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming online today and sharing with our community what have been your personal challenges in coming here as a student, securing a job. Thank you so much. It's really been enlightening talking to you today.
Thank you, Gertrude, for inviting me. I really, really appreciate it.
And thank you to everybody who's tuned in. The Diversity Connector is connecting you with different types of stories of living as a diverse person in Australia or anywhere else in the world. And what are the coping mechanisms? What are the strategies that can help you move ahead in your career as well? So tune in again tomorrow when I interview another interesting person. Have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And Manish, thank you so much.
Thanks, Gertrude. I really appreciate it. Take care.
Bye for now, everybody. And that's a wrap, everybody, on today's episode of the Diversity Connector podcast. Thank you for tuning in and being part of our vibrant and global conversation. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache, and it's been an honor to share this space with you, where voices from all walks of life come together to weave a tapestry of diverse perspectives. Remember, every story you've heard today is a thread in the larger fabric of our shared humanity. So, as you step back into your world, carry these stories with you and let them inspire you to embrace and celebrate the rich diversity around us. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast to help us share these inspiring stories with more listeners. Do follow us on social media by looking for the Diversity Connector podcast for more updates. Until then, keep connecting, keep listening, and keep celebrating the beauty of diversity. This is the Diversity Connector podcast signing off. Stay curious, stay open, and definitely stay